Good evening, everybody. This is a special edition of Bronson's By Any Means Necessary stuff. It's not going to be sports related at all. I just kind of want to, I don't know, I'm feeling like I want to talk about my travels a little bit because I'm pretty sure I'm done traveling for the year. There's only 6 weeks left in the year. I'm not going to go on any new trips, more than likely. I do plan on going back to Arizona for one of these weekends, now that I have, consecutive days off at both of my jobs. I can easily make a weekend trip to pretty much anywhere I want to go and, not have to, request time off or do anything like that. So I do plan on going to Arizona. I'm really hoping for New Year's Eve weekend. But I'm going to check the flight prices and stuff like that and see where I can find the best view. Maybe I'll push that up into December before Christmas. But my family does like to do their Christmas festivities. Recently, for the last few years anyways, we've been doing it on New Year's Eve weekend rather than Christmas weekend. So, part of me wants to see my family. Family that I don't really see most of the year except for Christmas, or really just Christmas. But another part of me is like, I'm just, holidays give me, I feel lonely on the holidays. I get depressed on the holidays. I don't really want to see, this political climate in the country right now has really divided a lot of my family and me. And, I don't really want to. I don't want to engage in political conversation with them. I don't have kids. I don't have a girlfriend. I don't have someone to bring to the holidays with me. It's just like, I'll be happy to see my family for the first 10 minutes of the evening, and then for the last 2-3 hours, 4 hours, I want to be anywhere but there. That's the way it usually works, and I don't mean to insult them. I love them. They're my family. I have no hard feelings about it. That's just me and my own issues that I need to cope with. But so yeah, I want to go back to Tucson because I love that place. I don't know why. I've always had I don't know how to explain it. I've always wanted to go there. Growing up, I always wanted to go there. I liked the University of Arizona basketball team. I always wanted to see Tucson for myself. I always wanted to go there. I finally went there, and it's just I don't know. And I've never really liked the heat either. So it's just weird for me. But that's where I feel like I belong. But yeah, again, probably not going on any new trips to any new places in these last 6 weeks of the year. But we'll go back. I do want to go back to Arizona for the part 3 of Tucson. And I'm gonna start planning that soon. But if I can talk about some of my traveling, and if you have any questions, for those of you who watch this video, if you have any questions, kind of like a Q&A, even though this isn't a live video, if you have a question for me about things I didn't talk about, and you want to know about the places that I went, I would love to talk about it. But I'm just gonna kind of talk about places I liked the most, places I disliked, airports I liked, airports I disliked, my most memorable happy experiences, my most memorable negative experience I had. It's all, even if it was a bad experience, it's still a good experience because it was an experience. It's something that I never did before. I remember when I first planned my first trip back in early January of this year. My first trip was to Las Vegas, and I was so nervous. Can I really afford this? I'd never done anything. I'd just never done anything like it before. So and now it's November. It's been 11 months, and I can't even. It's I don't even remember. Why did I waste so much of my life not doing this? I just feel like such an idiot for waiting till I was 33 years old to start traveling and doing, having these experiences. Man, it's like a lot. I mean, I'm still the same guy. Still got a lot of the same issues. Still single, just like I was in January. Nothing that hasn't changed. I'm still struggling, still frustrated by the dating scene, but a lot of things have changed for me since I planned that first trip to Las Vegas. But now, I mean, I just feel I feel a little bit like a different person. So let's get into it. Let's just start with my top 3 places that I enjoyed the most. Obviously, number 1 is Arizona. Like, even when I went to Vegas, I booked a helicopter tour to the Grand Canyon from Las Vegas. It only took 45 minutes or something. The helicopter tour was. I don't want to talk too much about it right now because I want to talk about it later. But that was incredible. Going to the Grand Canyon. So I should have known right then that after that experience, I was going to love the state of Arizona. And even despite the horror stories I had for Phoenix, we'll talk about that later too. Phoenix, not vibing with Phoenix too much, but Tucson and Flagstaff were incredible. The Grand Canyon was incredible. I've fallen in love with that state. Number 2, Alaska. Like, Anchorage was so different than anything I imagined Anchorage to be. I always just thought Anchorage was going to be like this rugged little town in the middle of nowhere. It was just like so old school, like still living in the 1800s. And I was so wrong. Again, I feel like an idiot. Anchorage is so hip, so modern. It's like a real city. It's very swanky, very liberal. It's a very liberal city there in Anchorage, and it's just beautiful. You got all those mountains around it. It's just, and I feel like the weather is pretty moderate too. I want to go back to Alaska sometime this winter. Thinking January, February, and to experience an Anchorage winter for myself to test my hypothesis out to see if it really is. If it's gonna get they're gonna get buried in snow, or if they're gonna have a little bit more, just a little bit of snow and a lot of rain, kind of like we get here. So, really looking forward to doing that trip again. And number 3, I had a hard time picking my top 3, but I'm gonna go with Minneapolis. Minneapolis was a fantastic city. I could have spent a week there and never left downtown, and probably never been bored. Minneapolis was very vibrant, hip, very beautiful city in the Midwest. I've noticed, I mean, I haven't, been to a lot of Midwest cities, but the Midwest cities that I've seen, like Denver, I'm going to consider that Midwest. Denver, Minneapolis, they're just pretty cities. I don't know what else to say. Anchorage is Alaska's not the Midwest, but it's also a very pretty modern city. So, and then let's go with my 3 least favorite places. I'm gonna start with number 1, Duluth, Minnesota. Duluth might have been okay if I had a place to stay. If I'd have stayed the night there, had a place to charge my phone because my phone was dead most of the time I was there. If I hadn't got stood up by someone that I was hoping to see while I was there, it was just Duluth. I was just in a negative mindset the whole time I was in Duluth. It was nice to go up and see the area where my grandfather on my dad's side is from. I'm sure it's changed a lot since he's been there. I'm excited to talk to him about it when I see him on Thanksgiving, but I didn't have a positive experience in Duluth. So Duluth's at the top of the list for me, though. Lake Superior was great, and that walk, that path they have along the lake, fantastic little walk. Phoenix, I've had nothing but bad experiences in Phoenix. if it's just the way how dirty the town is, how the town has no escape from the sun. Like I was sitting at the Greyhound station outside for like, I don't know, 20 minutes, and I got burnt. Like there's no trees, there's nothing there. The Greyhound station, the Phoenix Greyhound station. Well, I'll talk about that later. But and then I missed, and my second trip to Phoenix, I missed my Greyhound bus. I missed my bus in Mesa. And I was apparently in a location in Mesa that's not great. It's I forget it's a no loitering zone, I believe. And so the cops are, anybody who is just sitting there anywhere in that stretch of the street is getting stopped by the cops. I got stopped by the police. Luckily, my white privilege saved me from a confrontation, but. So I had to leave, and then the second trip to Phoenix, it had just rained in Arizona, so it was very humid as hell that weekend, and it was like 90 degrees. I had to walk a couple of miles to a hotel because I missed my bus. Ended up in a cheap hotel that was somewhere outside of the police harassment zone, so I ended up sweating through like 3 shirts in that couple mile walk because it was just so ridiculously humid. So yeah, Phoenix, I just don't have any good experiences with Phoenix. Although my aunt does live there in Gilbert. She's moving to Mesa. She's got a really nice little house, little neighborhood in the newer part of Mesa that they're developing out by the airport. So it was nice to hang out with her. It was nice for her to show me a little bit of Gilbert. I thought the Gilbert area of Phoenix was actually really nice. I potentially, downtown Phoenix, not so great. West Phoenix, not great at all. But Gilbert Mesa area, I thought was pretty nice. At least the area of Mesa the area of Mesa where I got harassed by the police and ended up staying, not so great. And the area of Mesa, Mesa's those of you who know Phoenix at all, Mesa's one of the largest cities by I don't know if it's called acreage. Geographically, one of the largest cities in America. So Mesa is very spread out. So there's the part of Mesa over by the airport, really nice, really wonderful. If I someday do move to Phoenix, because there are many job opportunities with both of my companies in Phoenix, that is definitely the area of Phoenix that I would probably want to be living in. But yeah, Phoenix, not great, not vibing with that city much. And Las Vegas, Las Vegas, number 3 was my first solo trip anywhere, and at the time, I thought it was great because I was naive. I didn't know what I was missing. But now looking back, Vegas was kind of boring. It wasn't fully open. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't stray too far from my little cocoon of where I was staying, and didn't get out and explore. I was that was just kind of my first leap into the water. So I would really like to go back to Las Vegas and have a full Vegas experience. I'm thinking about going back there around NFL draft time next year, and because it's in Vegas, so I kind of want to be there to experience that. We'll see if that ends up happening, but yeah, my first experience with Vegas, not super great overall of all the trips. All right, my favorite airports. Number 1, Salt Lake City. I don't know why I like Salt Lake City Airport. I just think Salt Lake City was just you could tell they just recently remodeled and rebuilt it. It looks really nice there. Salt Lake City is an airport that I will, for the future, be having a layover in anytime I can when I'm traveling. Number 2, Anchorage. Anchorage was an awesome little airport, and it was surrounded by mountains. It was just absolutely beautiful. They also had cool stuffed moose and stuffed polar bears, stuffed wildlife scattered around the airport, which I thought was really, cool. Very, it made you feel like you were, in Alaska. And 3, Mesa Gateway Airport. another small airport that I just really thought was just really pretty out there. It was a nice location. It was very easy to get around. It had nice vibes. It had nice stores and restaurants. Like I really had a good, positive experience and feeling with Mesa Gateway Airport. My least favorite airport, so we're going to start with number 3, Idaho Falls. I don't know what the deal is with that airport, but it's not even really an airport. It's just kind of like it's like one concourse that has like 3 gates. There was like no restaurants. There was just kind of like a vending machine that was kind of where you got food and stuff. It was just really ghetto. 2, Sky Harbor, Phoenix. Hated that airport. I couldn't. It was. I got a little lost, got a little confused. I didn't like the fact that you couldn't walk anywhere outside of the airport. Like a lot of airports, you have like pedestrian walkways for people who want to go, walk somewhere or something. But because the Greyhound station was not that far from there, and I thought I could walk there, but I couldn't. There's no like way out for the pedestrian or that I could find. I didn't like the setup of Sky Harbor. And lastly, the one I was just at, LAX. Can't stand LAX. I will never go to LAX again. That airport is awful. Everything about LAX is awful. I am recommending, for those of you who watch this or are going to be traveling anytime soon, don't go to LAX. Just avoid LAX. There's plenty of other airports in LA or Southern California to fly into. There's John Wayne in Anaheim, so if you're going to Disneyland, try to get there. There's Burbank, there's Santa Ana, there's Long Beach. Long Beach Airport is not super far from, downtown LA. It is far, but it's not as far as Anaheim, which is like an hour south, or Burbank, which is up in Hollywood area. So depends on where you're going in LA, whether you want to go there, but you should avoid LAX. Fly into San Diego. San Diego is a nice airport. Fly there, just take the Amtrak up, or plenty of other options. Avoid LAX at all costs. I'm warning you. And okay, so my top three experiences, least 3 favorite experiences. Number 1, the helicopter tour of Grand Canyon. That was absolutely amazing. I've always wanted to learn how to fly, like planes or helicopters. Now, after riding in a helicopter, I definitely wanted to be helicopters. And I tried to join the Army. At one point in time, I wanted to be a warrant officer, which would have been a helicopter pilot, right? So that's what I would have learned if they had accepted me. So maybe one of these days, I still want to get my pilot's license, and I think I definitely want to learn how to fly helicopters. That was, I can't really put it into words. The helicopter was just so incredible. I recommend anytime you can do a helicopter tour, which here in Portland you can do. They have helicopter tours from downtown Portland, tour the gorge. You can tour downtown. I recommend a helicopter tour anywhere you can go that offers one. It's a little pricey, but it'll probably be one of the greatest experiences of your life, other than giving birth or getting married, or people who have had that that joy. It probably doesn't top that, but for me, definitely top of the list. 2 would be my cruise of the Kenai Fjords National Park in Alaska and Seward. I got to see Orca, which was awesome. I got to see like the glaciers. Like these are things that I will never ever see down here, or probably never see again. The glacier or an orca. So that was fantastic, and it was great that they had charger ports on the boat for me to charge my phone, because my phone doesn't ever last more than like 3 hours when I go anywhere. So, and that was like a 7-hour ride, I think, 6-hour round trip ride. So it was nice to have a place to charge my phone for a little bit, so that I could, use it when I got off the boat. And 3 was touring the Vikings home stadium in Minneapolis. That was $30, the best $30 I've ever spent. Like a football ticket is like $150, $200, and all you can do is sit way up in the high seats and surrounded by 60,000 other people, and wait in lines for bathrooms, food, all that. deal with crowds, all that stuff, all the stuff that most people, introverts especially, hate. But this one was like, $30. I got to go all the cool places I'll never get to go again. The suites, probably never afford to go in the suites. The locker room, never gonna get in there. The down on the field and the Viking symbol, I'll never get to go there again. I got to see it all. It was so cool to do that, and only for $30. Like, it was amazing. And wow, I'm at 20 minutes. My three least favorite things. The Phoenix Greyhound Station. I just want to say that place was just so disgusting, and there was just so many nasty people there. And that bathroom in the Phoenix Greyhound Station was the absolute most foul bathroom I have ever seen, and I hope I'll never see a bathroom more foul. That bathroom looked like it hadn't been cleaned since the Bush administration. It was just awful. And then the little store they had there was just so ghetto. It was just and then, as I said earlier, I got burnt just sitting outside for 20 minutes, and then I had to sit. I think I had to lay over there for like 4 hours. It was awful. It was awful, and I will never go to that thing. I'm not going to take a bus in Arizona anymore at all, because it's just bad experiences all around. Second, missing that bus in Mesa, man. I had to deal with the cops. I paid a lot of money in Lyft just to get me, just make me late anyways. I had to deal with the cops, and had to walk a couple of miles, sweating my butt off, sweating through 3 shirts. I had to rent a cheap ass hotel room that I wasn't, hadn't budgeted for. That just sucked. But seeing my aunt, hanging out with my aunt, and having her, like, her and I have had a difficult relationship throughout our lives, and so it was nice to catch up and kind of hear good things about me from her. Positive reinforcement is something that I like. I need a lot of it. I'm needy when it comes to positive reinforcement. I need it all the time. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't mean to be needy. I don't mean to be like, I don't mean to be someone who just needs to hear good things about myself all the time. But that's just how I need it. And it was good to hear. I never really thought that she liked me much. I feel like most people just don't like me. But it was nice to hear that she does, and she wants me to come back. And she sat there and waited for me for a couple hours when I had to catch the bus that night, the bus at Mesa was so late. It was supposed to come at like 5 something. I think it was 5 something. She sat there and waited for me till 7, even though she had to work early the next morning. She waited for me. She wanted me to be safe, and I appreciate her greatly for that. And number one, the most awful experience that I had, which actually turned out really well, but at the time, man, I was freaking out. I got stranded in Saguaro National Park in Tucson, or just outside of Tucson, and I'll admit it, I was scared. It was dark. It was pitch dark. I was in an unfamiliar place. I was 13 miles from town. I couldn't get a ride. It's the desert. I know there's rattlesnakes out there. I'm deathly afraid of snakes. I don't care what kind of snake it is. A garter snake is gonna make me jump. A rattlesnake, I don't even know how I would deal with a rattlesnake, especially in the dark when I can't see. Oh man, I was freaking out. And then it's down by the border, cartel people, human trafficking people. I don't know why they'd want me, some big ugly white guy, but they could have kidnapped me or something. You never know what could happen. I was scared. Luckily, this photographer who was out there taking photographs of the Saguaro sunset was coming out, and after, like, I don't know, I think at least 10 cars had passed me by. I had my thumb out, I was hitchhiking out, hoping for a ride back to town, and they all just passed me. This guy stopped, thankfully picked me up, gave me a ride to close over to where he was staying in town, which was a couple miles from where I was at. But wasn't hard for me to get back over there. We had the conversation. It was nice. He was a photographer, professional photographer. I subscribed to his newsletter. I get his newsletter in my email once a month. I bought one of his photographs. I think I showed it off in one of my videos. Actually, hold on one second. I'll just show it off again. It's of Saguaro National Park at sunset. So this is one of the pictures that he took before he picked me up. It's a reminder to me, other than it being an absolutely beautiful picture, it's a reminder to me of, you know, when things seem pretty bad, good things can still happen. And it's a reminder to me of the kindness of strangers, random kindness of strangers. And so I leave this on my wall as a daily reminder to me of the positive things that can happen when you least expect it. So his name is Bob Watson, by the way. I'm going to give a shout out to him. Bob Watson. He lives in South Bend, Indiana. He recently he went to Alaska too, and he was telling me about Alaska, how great it was up there, how much he loves it. That was kind of what inspired me to decide to finally go, and I fell in love with it up there too. So yeah, if you want to, he's got a website, bobwatsonphotography.com. You should check it out. He's got some pretty good stuff on there, and his pictures aren't super expensive. I think this was like $45 to have it. I forget what he did something special to this photo to make it look a little bit more, to make it pop a little more. I forget what it was, but I'm forever grateful to him. He possibly saved my life. He possibly he made me, I don't know, but other than that experience, I really love Tucson anyways, and I'm not gonna hold that against the city, because that was my fault. I didn't realize that Lyft wasn't gonna come back out there and pick me up. So now, at least now, like I see all these people, these dating apps, these girls who have like best travel story. They're always like something horrifying that happened to them. But now I got one of those now. I got a couple of those now. I got the Saguaro National Park situation. I've got missing a bus in a Mesa situation. So yeah, but I guess that's my video. We're pushing 28 minutes. This is the longest video I've filmed so far. I really didn't expect it to be this long. I apologize for being so long. I don't know if I'm gonna post this on YouTube or not. I probably will. I know I'm gonna definitely put it on Facebook though. I want my friends, family to watch it and maybe engage with me. Ask me some questions, stuff like that. So I didn't want to do it live though, because I don't know. I'm still a little camera shy, I guess. I don't know if I can talk live. All the stuff that I do. So, but I do appreciate people watching. I do appreciate the people who continue to stay a part of my life, even if I don't, reach out to them often, or I don't see them. I haven't seen them in years. I haven't seen my friends in, my homeland in a long time. So it's nice of them to stay in contact and stuff like that. But all right, so got a lot of stuff, a lot of exciting stuff exciting places, hopefully exciting places to go in 2022. I got a deep list. Eventually I'm gonna start traveling outside the country. Like I really want to go to Iceland. I really want to go to Norway. Stuff like that. I still really want to go to Canada. I know Canada's only 6 hours up the freeway. I don't trust my car to get me up there. That's really the only reason I haven't gone yet, because the borders are open and I have a passport. I would really like someone else to kind of drive me up there and spend a couple days up there. I would fund the entire trip, really. I mean, you might have to pay for your own food or something, but I would I'll pay for your gas up there. I pay for a place for us to stay. But yeah, I basically don't trust my car, so that's the only reason I haven't gone up there yet. Haven't made a road trip up there yet. I'm thinking about it. Still thinking about it. I might just take my car up there anyway, but I would prefer not to. I never really wanted to go to Mexico ever, but I was close enough in San Diego. Tijuana was like, they said 20 minutes away. I was like, that's pretty damn close. I should just go down there, cross the border, cross the little bridge, come back, say I was in Mexico. But then I was like, I don't, it's not worth the money to me. Mexico's not a place I've ever really wanted to go, but that's the closest I've ever been to either. Not either the Mexican border for sure. Even in Tucson, Tucson's a lot as close as San Diego is. But Canada, I've been up at the border. Canada, I just didn't cross, obviously, because I didn't have a passport at that time. But yeah, all right. I think that's enough. Enough rambling. 30 minutes in. Peace, love, and nacho fries.